When the night nurse came, I got the same one from the night before, who again wasn't interested in my pain. And I said, look, what is wrong with this thermostat? This room is either freezing cold or burning hot. And she said, well, you gotta give it time to adjust. Like she tried to explain it to me. Not like she was being sympathetic. You know, she wasn't like, they weren't like caring like the night I had the nurse I had the first 2 nights, and that male nurse I had that first day. She said, well, you just gotta give it time to adjust, and this is how it works, is you turn it, and yet it looks like it's going back down, but it's not. It's just telling you the temperature in the room. Just got to give it time to adjust. So basically, I was just fiddling with it myself. That first night, I was freezing, so I put it up high. And she says, "Isn't this room too warm?" I said, "Please don't touch the thermostat. I'm freezing cold." So that first night, I told her, that first night of surgery. This was Thursday night. I'm in the hospital 4 nights now. And I told her, I would like to get rid of this migraine. Tylenol's not going to do it. She said, the doctor won't let you have any more of the drug. Now I understand why people get addicted to prescription drugs. And I was like, then you need to give me something stronger than Tylenol. I just had surgery. I would like to have 1 night of sleep. So she, and I'm sounding, you know, I might sound a little bit angry right now, but I was actually just in pain. You know, I'm talking from a pain standpoint, not an angry standpoint. And let me ask the doctor. So it's 9 o'clock at night. It's 8:30 at night, actually. And she didn't come in for a while. Again, it felt like she wasn't really, they weren't interested in my pain, you know, or taking care of me. Her technician comes in. I go to the bathroom. When I come out of the bathroom, she threw away my daughter's food that she paid for, because my daughter might get up in the middle of the night, nibble, or my son might have come and eaten the rest of it. Threw out the food. Went to my bed. I had a couple of sheets. She removed the sheets. She flattened my bed for what? She didn't change the sheets, mind you. She just removed the extra sheets I had. Flattened my bed, and like stuff, you know, I had stuff that we were planning to, or my daughter was planning to nibble on or whatever. She's just a nurse technician. She's not the main of the housekeeping or whatever. I was like, what the heck is wrong with this girl? Anyway, I just want to try and relax. So about 8:45, the nurse comes in, and I had told her about my pain issues and my blood pressure issues from 7 o'clock. So like an hour and a half later, or she comes in and says, the doctor said he will give you the drug 1 more night. I call it the drug. I forgot the name of it. I think it was called Dilaudid. I think it was called. And that's it. I said, okay, fine. I said, can you not give it to me right this second, because I know my body. I said, can we wait till 10? I said, because if I take it now, I'll fall asleep now, and then I'll wake up at 12 and be up all night. She said, the doctor gave me permission now, but I don't give it to you now, it's going to fall off your cue. Again, I think that's a lot of bullcrap. I think that could have waited. I was like, well, you know what? Before this migraine gets really, really bad, fine. She didn't shoot me up with the low dose. She shot me up with the higher dose. So she gave me that. My whole body went on fire again, and I slept for 3 hours. And just like I said, at midnight, I was up. They come in, and it startles you, because sometimes that medication gives you like kind of violent dreams, and then it startles you when they wake you up. They had to take my blood, they had to take pressure, they had to do this and that. So now I'm up, and they took care of everything, and all of a sudden I hear this very, very high frequency beeping. I have always been sensitive to electrical noise. Other people might not hear it, but I hear it. It used to drive my husband crazy, because sometimes he used to like to sleep with the TV on, and it drove me crazy because it wouldn't let me sleep. And so I told the nurse, I said, nurse, something's wrong with it. It was my IV drip. Something's wrong with that machine that's monitoring my IV drip. I didn't know that they could remove my IV drip from that, because I would have told them to do that. But I think my problem with this, with any of the nurses, was communication. They just don't, I think the last 2 nights I was there, they didn't really care about me, and they weren't communicating. And a lot of the communication was, whenever, I don't know, you know. And so, I think that's where a lot of the aggravation on me came from. And so I don't think they're taking me serious or even care. That's what you get some nurses that are so good. Like the nurse I had for the first 2 nights and that first day. And then I had, you know, crappy nurses later. And, I mean, if I asked for an extra blanket or something, they would give it to me. But, you know, when it came to my pain management, which supposedly this hospital was supposedly into pain management, they weren't really caring about that. And so I told her, I said, look, can you switch out my machine, because something's not right. Now, again, she's sending the technician in, and you know what the technician comes in to do? I'm going to clean your table for you. I said, please leave my table. I'm fine. No, I'm going to clean your table for you. And you know, I have organized chaos, you know. It's chaotic organization. I know what's where, and just leave it alone. And she starts cleaning up anyway. And I'm like, can you please not do that? And so she's come in, and again, she takes doing stuff that I didn't ask her to do. And so the nurse wasn't dealing with me. Now the technician was dealing with me. And every time I asked her for something, I have to ask the nurse. Another lady came in, I think because she knew I was uncomfortable she's like, I'm going to find you another one. She didn't find me another one. The technician came in an hour later. Still, I'm hearing this noise. My migraine finally went away. I don't want it to come back. And so she says, I have to ask the nurse. Finally, again, I said, I'm going to be that patient tonight. I just came out of surgery. I'm going to be that patient. I was ringing that thing every half hour if they didn't listen to me, if no one came to help me. And so I would wait 20 minutes to half an hour, and if nobody's saying, can beep, I'm going to keep beeping them till they come. And so she came, and finally, after like 2.5 hours of this noise driving me crazy that she didn't hear, Stephanie says, I can hear it, but it doesn't bother me. And she just connects the machine. If they would have told me that 2.5 hours earlier, I would have been able to sleep that night. So for 2.5 hours, I couldn't. That was it. And now I was having trouble, and I was up. And so I started organizing my stuff, getting ready to leave. And then she said, "Now we're gonna give you some. What they give you is Tylenol with codeine, and codeine is known to give people bad reactions, especially in their stomach." I had an empty stomach. They tried to feed me. I could not eat. I told the technician, to bring me sugar-free Jell-O. She gave me Jell-O full of sugar. I ate half. I thought I was going to die. And so I said, okay, fine. But can you give me some sugar-free Jell-O so that my stomach doesn't hurt? Because at this point, I just didn't want my migraine to come back. They weren't going to let me have any more of the narcotic to sleep. They wouldn't let me have the Ambien, which is helps you fall asleep as well. It's not a pain reliever. It just helps you to fall asleep. So they go out. The technician goes out, and half an hour later, I still don't have this Jell-O, and I'm scared. The stomach ache's gonna come on, and so I beat them again, and I said, look, if you can't, and I told him, if you can't find the sugar-free Jell-O, then just get me sugar-free pudding, just something for my stomach. I think they said that they went on 3 floors and couldn't find the Jell-O. Finally, my nurse that comes in and gets upset and says, you told me you wanted Jell-O. I said, if you can't find Jell-O, just give me the pudding. Again, communication. If you couldn't find the Jell-O, come into the room and tell me, I cannot find the Jell-O. Can I get you something else? You know, it's communication. And that's what was the issue here with the nurses from the second 2 days I was there. And so she hands me the Jell-O. She looked like she was upset. Like another 15, 20 minutes later, the technician brings me the sugar-free Jell-O. And I told her sugar-free the first time, and she had brought me one full of sugar, and it just nauseating. So anyway, I was only able to eat half a Jell-O. Now, from this point, I haven't eaten for 4 days. They were trying to get me to eat regular food. I'm like, you're out of your mind. I just got out of surgery. I hadn't eaten for 4 days, so I was only able to fit like half the pudding, sugar-free pudding. Starting to nod off, and my stomach starts to hurt. And I know that's from the codeine. So here I am buzzing the nurse again half an hour later. I said, look, can you give me something for my stomach? So they also have to manage them. Again, they don't want you getting addicted to stuff, so they time it perfectly when you can get your medications. You say, well, I can give you this, but I can't give you. Fine, just give me whatever you have. Again, I'm not sleeping. By this time it's 3 o'clock in the morning. Finally start dozing off. Bang! Door opens up. We gotta take your blood. I'm telling you, my hands were black and blue. I'm still a little swollen here from where the nurse stabbed me. And now it was like 4 something in the morning, and I wasn't getting any sleep at all. I was up, started, just putting away more stuff, just getting ready to leave the next day. Because at first they said you go home the same day, and that wasn't the case. They wanted to keep me overnight, so that's why I was there that night. But I'm glad, because the pain was excruciating, and I just honestly couldn't wait to get home to take my naproxen and my aspirin with, my migraine medicine, which works great, and my naproxen, which works for pain. Because I was telling them, this does not work. This does not work. Anyway, when I took my high blood pressure, it was up again. I told them that, I don't know if Losartan works. I just started taking it. They won't give me blood thinners anymore. So, my blood pressure was up. And I think what I finally did, might have been maybe by this time 6 o'clock in the morning. I hadn't slept. So, 6 o'clock in the morning, I had to wear sunglasses. I had to wear sunglasses even at night because of the lights in the hallway when they came in and out were killing my eyes. I was wearing sunglasses in the hospital, and the little footsies they gave me, I was putting over the sunglasses like a mask. I finally was tired enough to see if maybe I could get some rest, and the light was coming in. So basically I was just laying there, just seeing if I could maybe doze in and out of sleep. I think I might have dozed in and out of sleep. And my throat was killing me, but my family had gotten me the cough drops, and then I started coughing uncontrollably. I don't know. I was like, I never experienced that before from the anesthesia, from the intubation. I don't like intubation. I was going to fight them on it, but I was getting I only get sleep apnea like once or twice a year, and I was getting sleep apnea the morning of the surgery, so I didn't fight them on the intubation. So I don't want to die on the table, because I had had the apnea from the relaxation of the medications they give you and stuff, anesthesia. So I basically, it was not even maybe 7 o'clock. By 7 o'clock, the doctor comes in and said, you're going home today. The surgeon just needs to come in and look at your sutures, your stitch. By the way, I didn't get stitches. I don't know if you know this, but they use glue, some sort of surgical glue. And I have surgical glue on the 4 stitches, but by this time my whole belly was black and blue. And he came in, he showed me, he told me the surgeon was coming, so it was Friday morning, and I'm like, please let me get a good nurse today. I don't want that nurse I got to argue with. I don't want this other nurse that wasn't listening to me. And the nurse from my first day there, from Tuesday, was there, and he was so sweet. He's so nice. He listened to me. He addressed all my concerns. And so he was there, and he said, okay, you're just waiting on your surgeon to let you go, and you could go home today. So they came in and they asked me for the first time what I wanted to eat. And I thought, like when I was in that other hospital by my son's school, they had like gourmet meals there to eat, and you have so much to choose from, and they gave you so much food. And then here they said roast chicken or turkey for lunch. So I didn't know what time the surgeon was going to come. I mean, he didn't come till 4 o'clock one time. So she said, I said, I guess some roast chicken with I love broccoli. So what do you want for dinner? Same choices. I'm like, what? I'm like, fine, they give me the turkey with the green beans for dinner. Those are like my only choices for the day. What do you want for breakfast? I said, oh, no, I'm not staying here. I'm going home. I mean, it was Mother's Day weekend. I just wanted to be home with my family. And I'm going home. I'm not ordering breakfast. She said, oh, really? Because they told me you were staying. Whatever energy I had, I was going to bust a cat, man. And she's like, I'm kidding. I'm just messing with you. I was like, oh, man, you had me there, man. I was ready to have a heart attack. And the surgeon came in early, you know, right after they ordered my lunch and dinner, and said, you can go home today. And so he looked at my stitches. He told me, where are you experiencing any pain? I said, yeah, like over here. And he said, well, that's where the surgery, not where the sutures are. They were fine, just over here. And said, well, that's where I cut out. And he showed me the pictures. He took pictures of everything that he did, and, you know, the camera. And just so you know, thank God I went with him and not with that other guy who was a joke. He said when I started doing the surgery, they staple your artery to keep it away, out of the way, because if they nick that, you die. You will bleed out right on the table. So he said, I noticed something else was in the way, and I said, that looks like another artery. And sure enough, he said, I'm one of the 20% of the population that has 2 arteries running through their abdomen. And had he not noticed that, I would have bled out on that table. He might have nicked it thinking it was a tendon or something, or whatever it was. I don't know. Tendons are for bones. He might have nicked it thinking it was something else, and he had to staple that and put that aside. But he said, thank God I caught that on the camera, because you could. He said he's never lost a patient before, and that was another reason why I was like, trusted him. He's like, you know, I'm just so glad I saw that, because I could have accidentally nicked it. And so and that would explain why sometimes when I look at my abdomen, I see ba-bum, 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 ba-bum. And it might be the reason why abdomen pain is so much worse in me. So, because I had 2 arteries running through there. He says, just, you know, he says everyone has an abnormality, and that one's mine. And so he showed me the liver. He showed, you know, he showed me the gallbladder. He showed me, you know, where he had to cut and how he took it out in a bag. And I said, did you look inside to see how many stones? He says, I don't look at that. And my brother's like, that's crazy. I thought they all look at that. Come on now. My brother's fiance said the same thing. Don't they all look at that? They even asked me if they could use it for medical research. I said they could have had mine if they wanted it. And they even asked me, do you want to be an organ donor? I said, honey, you don't want my organs. I need repo, man. You don't want my organs. So anyway, I said no. And sometimes also I get paranoid and think they might kill you just to use your organs for somebody else. I know I'm crazy, but anyway, he said, you know, you could go home. And I was up and I was ready to go. I had packed up everything. I was just standing there waiting to leave, and they were like, whoa. Lots of patients just want to lay around in bed, but you're just up and ready to go. I was like, I am. I couldn't even sit anymore. I've been in that bed for 5 days. I just wanted to get out of there. So, I mean, gravity was working against me, but I just didn't want to sit anymore. And the nurse, you know, they told me I could go like about 10 o'clock? And I wasn't out of there till 11:30, because he said they had so many patients. They were just starting the patients. And when they removed the IV, he taped it up and everything. And so, I'm not paying attention. I'm just waiting for them to finish the showing me. And I look up, and blood is pouring out all over. I could barely walk fast, but I went and said, I'm bleeding. He's like, whoa. And he pulls me back into the room. I could barely walk that fast. Blood everywhere in the hallway and all over in my room. And he said that it was the blood thinners. They make it longer for your blood to what's that thing, the clot. And so they had to put pressure on there for about another minute, and then I was fine. And they gave me, you know, covered me up and everything, Band-Aid, whatever. And you know, I was just finally, I think I was out of there by 11:30. I was just so happy to be home. And I found that now I know why they say you're up and about the next day. I found that it hurts less if you're up, because when you're sitting, like everything feels like it's got all squished and cramped and stuck together. And so when you're up, it just felt better. And basically that Friday, I barely could sit. So I just started cleaning putting away all my bags, cleaning the table. I can't bend. They told me don't exert too much pressure because you can hurt yourself. So that first day I was home, I just did that. I think I even cooked with my daughter, cooked dinner, and we cooked dinner together. That first night, I was in some pain, and they gave me a prescription for pain, but I was afraid to get it. And my daughter had some Tylenol with codeine, and it didn't hurt her stomach. I was like, you know what? I think I'm gonna take this because I don't think I'm gonna be able to sleep. So I took it. I ate a little something, and it does alleviate the pain. And I was able to sleep. Plus, I had my naproxen and my migraine medicine, and I was able to sleep. And I think I might have got up in the middle of the night and got another dose of the codeine, ate a little something, went to bed. But the next day I couldn't be sitting. Saturday I had to be up, I had to be about, so I started cleaning my vanity table, I started cleaning my computer table. I asked my family to clean the house for me. My daughter did my laundry because I couldn't lift, and I put it away because I could not. Sitting just hurt more, so I was just up and about until I just couldn't stand up anymore. I was just so exhausted. So by late afternoon, I remember me and my daughter cooked dinner again together, and then I finally was able to sit. And I told my husband, I'm sorry, I know you wanted to get my medicine while we were out yesterday, but I thought that naproxen would help, but it didn't. So he went and got my medicine, and because I didn't want to keep taking the codeine, and I actually took both the codeine and the other medicine just so I could sleep that night. I think I took it again in the middle of the night when I woke up, and the next day I was feeling better, and then I stopped being mad at the world. I said everybody lied to me. I hate everybody, and it was Mother's Day, and my brother, said that there was something he really needed that came to my address. So I said, well, I'll bring the girls, let me see them, and bring the family. I know he's not really my nephew, but I still call him my little nephew. And my new sister-in-law, I guess you could say. And so they all came over for a few minutes. He got what he needed. I got to see the family. I was so happy. And they left me this little note. I had dust on the cable box, and they left me a little note saying love. I don't know if it said love you or just love, and then they said Titi Chachi, because that's what they call me. Titi Chachi, which is Aunt Charlene, but it's just a name that my nephew called me 30 years ago. And because he couldn't say my name, Charlene, so he said Chachi, and that's what all my nieces and nephew call me now, Chachi. So that was really sweet. That was a nice little Mother's Day gift. And then we went to the movies, and I've been coughing uncontrollably. My sore throat finally went away, but I was so full of phlegm, and I was like, why? They were telling me you could catch pneumonia. It made me breathe in and out of this thing, and I was like, I never had phlegm before, And so I'm in the theater, I was coughing, I brought cough drops, I bought mints for my tummy, and I'm like, what is this? And finally the next day, I just keep coughing uncontrollably, and I called the nurse, and she says, well, it probably just irritated from the intubation. Everybody's different. It could probably be that. Take a lot of lozenges, even though they weren't working, use Chloraseptic, and I started looking up side effects of losartan, and basically losartan side effect is coughing, cold-like symptoms. I thought I was getting sick. I thought I was getting pneumonia. I was scared. I thought I would have to go back to the hospital. Cold-like flu symptoms, coughing, and I was feeling extremely tired yesterday, the last couple of days, Monday, Tuesday, and today, Wednesday, and I was like, when I came out of the hospital, I didn't feel like this. Why am I feeling this now? Because I'm consistently taking the losartan. And I took my blood pressure yesterday, and I was 170 over 100. So those medications do not work on me. Maybe I should just take adult aspirin. I'm taking baby aspirin every night, but maybe I should be taking it in the morning too. I don't know, because the blood thinner, my blood pressure went down to 124 over 50. And I'm taking losartan, and now I'm getting the side effects of losartan, constant coughing, finally the phlegm is out of my throat, out of my lungs, but I'm not feeling tired all the time. And this week is finals, and so yesterday my son had a final, and tomorrow my son has a final. Today I have to go out because I can't see that good anymore. I got my prescriptions. I just got to get new glasses. So I'm going out. My daughter got she's picking up her glasses, but I still haven't found a place. So I found the place I'm going to see if I can order mine. But I got to go pick up hers, and so that's what I'm doing today. And then tomorrow is my son's finals again, and then hopefully Friday, what I'm going to do is edit this and upload it on Friday. And I just want to relax. I have an appointment on Saturday in the morning, and then I just want to relax this weekend. So, yeah, I'm thinking about stopping the losartan because, as usual, it's not bringing down my blood pressure, and I'm getting the side effects. Oh, and I asked the nurse, I forgot to say, I asked the good nurse, the nice nurse, what is up with this machine? And he said people who suffer from migraines are very sensitive to sound. She didn't hear it, but you did. She probably isn't experienced with it. If it would have been me, I would have just either changed out the battery, gave you a new machine, or took it off. I wouldn't. It's so that 2 hours and a half that nurse wasn't listening to me. If she would have just took it off, I would have been able to sleep that night. So because they don't listen, I think they just like, oh, you're just a stupid, whiny patient. I think they just feel like you're a whiny patient because you've been out of surgery. And I honestly don't understand how people could become nurses and be like that. I've had bad nurses before, and I just don't understand. You guys get some good nurses, you get some bad nurses. I had good nurses the first 2 days and the last day, thank God. And he explained to me, so I knew I wasn't crazy. People who suffer from migraines are very sensitive to sound, and that will flare up your migraine, and that's what I was afraid of. It didn't, thank God. Whatever that last bit of dose of drug he gave me, finally I'd taken it away. And forgot to add that. I wanted to add that because I felt that was important. I'm not crazy. He said I would have taken care of that right away. But anyway, so now might try losartan for another couple of days, but this is really not the week for me to feel sleepy because it's finals week and I have other appointments that I had to take care of this week. So I think I don't have nothing to do next week. I don't think I have any appointments next week. I just want to relax, rest, not worry about anything, just rest. So anyway, I love you all. This will go up on Friday, and every day I'm feeling better and better. And wanted to talk about fat. So I'm not allowed to have fat for the whole first month because now that my body doesn't have its gallbladder, there's nothing to process the fat. So basically it's going to go right through you, give you diarrhea, make you feel sick or whatever. And then after the month you can eat fat. But the issue that I'm coming up against is, I know, stupid me, my son had left a strip of turkey bacon, and I'm figuring it's turkey. It was like sitting out for a couple hours. It's not going to have any fat in it. First of all, like I said, you can't do, I know TMI, you can't do number 2 because there's nothing in your stomach. Man, that took care of that. So now I'm hungry, and because I was eating oatmeal like for 2 days straight, so I was like, all right, let me get a sushi when we go do groceries. Get a brown rice sushi. And as I'm gobbling this thing down, I got halfway through and realized, wait a minute, that looks like there's some sort of cream inside. Spicy mayo. So I couldn't eat that, and so I picked up a bag of wheat pita chips. And so I'm like, okay, this, I looked at the ingredients. It was like made from wheat flour, whatever. I am so hungry. I dig into it, and I said, it tastes so good, but it was really salty. And then I could taste the oil. It had canola oil in it. The bag says it's baked, though. So that is the most frustrating part. And I realize now, I've always been on a low-fat diet. I don't care what the doctors say about me. Just because everybody sees you fat and they think you're just stuffing your face with fried. I haven't fried foods since I was like in my 20s. And so for half my life I haven't fried foods. and I don't, and I rarely eat anything fried. And so it was, you know, frustrating to me when I was out of the diabetes. I was able to eat spicy tuna, you know, or spicy mayo in my sushi. I was able to have a pita chip. You know, I was able to have turkey bacon. And it is just, that's the hardest part, is eating no fat. And I have to do that for a month. So 1 week, I got 3 weeks to go. So that because your body has to get used to the fact that it doesn't have a gallbladder anymore. And basically your other organs are going to take over, especially your liver is going to take over the fat processing. So just because, like, I know people who have had gallbladder surgery and they can eat whatever they want, you know, and I can't do that because I'm going to destroy my liver. I already have problems with fatty liver. So he even showed me my liver. One side of it looked fine, but then you look on the other side and you do see that it's swollen, and you do see, like, I saw these white, like, deposits on it. And so anyway, so just wanted to tell you that too.